Good evening, everyone. It's Monday, September 11th. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Following town council members are present remotely: Kevin Reed, Donald and Wales. Following town council members are present in town council chambers: Jessica Duska, Jason Maurer, D.D. Mark, Jonathan McKellar, Sean O'Rourke, Terry Rooney. Following town council members absent: Enid Lapellis. At this time, I would ask for a moment of silence to remember the heroes and victims of the September 11th attacks. Thank you. There's no objection. I'm going to pass the consent calendar as presented. Hearing no objection, the consent calendar is adopted. As I communication, items A through L be incorporated into the minutes of our meeting. Item 5, public participation. Is there any member of the public that would like to participate at our? If you're online on your phone, please remember *6 to unmute yourself. Otherwise, click the microphone. Please say your name for the record. Once again, is there any member of the public that would like to participate during the public participation? Please remember to unmute yourself. Hearing none, seeing none, participation. We have one appointment this evening. Councilmember Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would ask this council to approve the appointment of Leslie Perez, Democrat of 27 Barnhill Road, to the Lake Shore Authority for a term ending November 8th, 2024.
Thank you, Councilmember Martin. There's a motion to adopt Resolution 23-105. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jason Maurer. Councilmember Martin.
Mrs. Perez, Leslie, has lived in Monroe with her family since 2014. She has 2 sons who attend Fawn Hollow Elementary School. Leslie has a master's degree in marine biology and has worked on the Long Island Sound for 10 years. She is currently employed at Norwalk Hospital as a cardiac sonographer. Leslie is a 10-year Army Reserve veteran who would like to maintain a relationship to the local environment through volunteerism on the Lake Shore Authority. Leslie had resigned from the Lake Shore Authority but has reconsidered and wishes to return to this board. And this appointment will then complete her prior term ending November 8, 2024.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
She resigned and then she wants to come back?
Yes.
Yes.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of adopting Resolution 23-105, please say aye.
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 All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, passes. All right, action items. Item A, Town Council Committee, Finance, Education, Health, Public Safety Matters. Vice Chair Lapellis is not here this evening, but they had not met since their last Town Council meeting. Town Council Committee on Planning, Zoning, Public Works, and Park and Recreation Matters. Councilmember Rooney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have not met since the last council.
Anything, Councilmember?
Just the, well, I know it was on social media, but the basketball courts and the new soccer fields are moving along nicely. If you have a chance to get up and see them, good luck.
Great. Thank you. Item C, Town Council Committee on Legislative and Administrative Matters. Councilmember Reed.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we did meet tonight. We met on a few items. There was a commercial tax abatement application from 246 Main Street that we'll be hearing about. We also talked about the Accavallo and Company auditor engagement letter, general code terms and conditions, Southwestern Connecticut Agency on Aging grant award, as well as the First Amendment to the Wengel, McDonnell, and Costello Inc. contract for the Judd Road Bridge project. All of those reached consensus, And 4 of them will be tonight in front of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Councilmember Mauer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd just also like to ask, especially since we actually have our town attorney here in room this evening. I know for a while we had been working on the blight ordinance. I think it's a good time to renew that. I know everybody's a little bit busy, but once we get to budget season, then that always takes over. So even if it's not prior to the election, maybe in November, early December, or that first December meeting, just to get it back on the agenda, get to discussing it again and seeing where it is, where it stands and where we can bring it before we get busy with budget season, I think would be a good idea.
Thank you. I'm sure whoever is on town council at that time will consider that.
Chairman?
Yes.
If I could just add to that, one thing of note, and I've casually mentioned this to the town attorney as well, just so he's aware of it, that there was recently the legislature did pass changes to the statutes that deal with basically the enabling statutes for blight ordinances. It brings a new tool available to the town that was not previously available due to our population size. So it is something that I think would be something LNA may want to consider discussing further, because in egregious cases, it would improve the town's ability to enforce things if we're not getting satisfactory results otherwise.
Thank you.
Which gratefully we haven't had a lot of that. So, but it's good to have those tools in the toolbox.
Thank you, Mr. Selectman. That's one of the main reasons why I felt it was ripe to bring up again. So I'm glad to hear that the administration has already addressed that with the town attorney as well. So that's great.
All right, moving on, Strategic Planning Committee. We have not met since our last town council meeting. We will endeavor to have a meeting before our town council meeting on the 26th. Item E, EMS Building Committee, Councilmember Vroom.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Not too much to update other than the floor is being epoxied. They were there today grinding it down. So we're expecting that to be done shortly. There is an official opening of the EMS building scheduled for the 23rd. So we're hoping with the weather that it will cure in time to be able to put the ambulances in there and have that. That's all I have.
Thank you. Item F, Open Space Preservation Acquisition Committee, Councilmember O'Rourke.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We did meet, and our meeting is under new business tonight for an executive session.
Thank you. And finally, item G, our first selectman.
Mr. Chairman, I got actually a bunch of updates for you this evening. The written update is making its way down. First, as it was Councilmember Marin was mentioning the basketball courts. So the basketball court project is ahead of schedule, and because of the high demand, we want to reopen it as soon as possible. Everyone is invited to a reopening, which will be tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. at Wolf Park. And again, I remind everyone this was partially funded through a state grant. So hope everyone, anyone could be there to open the course so we can get people back using them. The Project Warmth application for the Neighborhood Assistance Act has been approved. So businesses may be eligible for a tax credit based upon their corporate structure, and if they're subject to a state corporate income tax liability. The maximum in aggregate is $24,000 with a minimum grant of $250 to be eligible. The forms are not yet up on the state website. They will be on September 15th. It's a very short window. They have to be submitted online to the state by October 1st by those businesses. So anyone aware of someone who may be considering this, they need to act pretty quickly. I'm happy to report that a request that I submitted back in 2021 to the state of Connecticut has been approved, and we have a few pedestrian safety beacons that'll be coming to some of the trail crossings. Those won't be done until 2024, but for example, includes the rail trail at Cutler's Farm and Pepper Street. And those are, again, being done by the state of Connecticut. Some business updates for you. Awesome Toys and Gifts is a new business at 464 Main Street. I've mentioned them before. They are planning on opening this month. Auto Kingdom is a new vehicle repair service and at 585 Main Street. That is the former Meineke building, and we are working on scheduling a ribbon cutting with them. Connecticut Precast, been in Monroe for quite some time on 555 Canyon Hill Road. They have been approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission for a over 15,000 square foot expansion. And last but not least, Bart Center was recently sold and renovations are well underway. Tenants have been secured for the entire property, including a new business, Turnpike to Wines and Spirits. And just a footnote with that, I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize Councilmember Rooney for identifying this new property owner as looking for space and steering them to Monroe. So thank him for that. The governor has recognized Monroe. I received an official statement from Governor Lamont recognizing our bicentennial anniversary, conveying honor and recognition to the town. The document will be provided to the town clerk so it can be preserved in the town's archives. There is a regional public meeting for the 5-year update to the Natural Hazard Mitigation Plan. This is a multi-jurisdictional plan that covers Monroe, Easton, Trumbull, Bridgeport, Fairfield, and Stratford. It's required by FEMA in order to be eligible for certain federal aid, disaster aid. MetroCog is leading up the update to the plan as they have in the past. They will be holding a public meeting on Tuesday, September 19th, beginning at 7 p.m. at Council Chambers in Trumbull Town Hall to get update, and certainly anyone is welcome to go there. They will also have a survey and a comment form at the links I provided, other ways for people to participate. We will be resuming our Regional Hazardous Waste Collection Day on Saturday, October 7th from 9 to 2. That'll be at Indian Ledge Park, Trumbull, Indian Ledge Park Drive in Trumbull, where it has been historically. Again, you just need to bring your Connecticut driver's license, and we have information on the website of what you can and can't bring. As Councilmember Rooney mentioned earlier, the Monroe EMS will be hosting an open house on September 23rd from noon to 6 at their headquarters, and we'll have a brief ceremony there to celebrate the new facility. And EMS is going to have activities for the whole family, tours, demonstrations, and light refreshments. And my last update was just a follow-up from the previous meeting in regards to the inquiry on the role of the Office of the Town Clerk in preventing property transfer fraud. It was referred to the town attorney. In fact, I know that he had a conversation with the town clerk, and I, with your permission, Mr. Chairman, I just defer to the town attorney to give a brief update on that.
Frank?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, in response to what the town is doing, I did review the statutes, which I'm very familiar with, and I did speak to the town clerk. And pleased to, well, I'll just give an update. I mean, I think it's not common knowledge that the town is not permitted to give legal advice to any individuals who attempt to record documents. That would include looking at documents to verify whether or not they were legally proper, whether they were properly endorsed. There is a requirement that they do only accept documents that have an original signature on them. There are some exceptions. I'm not going to go through that. Tax liens, things of that nature, certified documents. What happened in Fairfield is extremely unfortunate. I know there were some comments in the newspaper articles about that came from the clerk. I don't know if they were, I think a lot of people interpreted them that clerk felt that there may have been an opportunity to prevent that. I don't think a scrivener's error in a name or something like that is something that, I know that's not something that is within the purview of the clerk to do something about. In my comments, so that's unfortunate. There's not very much that clerk can do on the face of the acceptance of recording documents. This some of the procedures that do happen in the back end, such as when documents are indexed shortly after they are presented for recording. They do match up the names for grantor, grantee, and things of that nature. So if things do come up They have in the past made a phone call or sent a notice out to the individuals and saying, hey, by the way, the names aren't matching, but that would be a courtesy and on behalf of the fact. I was extremely pleased, Ms. Stone is way ahead of this, as are all the clerks now within the state. And she is looking into having the town acquire, she's getting pricing on it, which will be presented to this council and finance for a property fraud alert system. That would be put into place. It would be optional. It would be free to the public. If you own a property in the town of Monroe, you would simply have to sign up for the service. And when there was anything that affected the land records on your property, you would simply get an email saying that something has been filed with regards to your property, and then you can verify quickly whether or not that filing is appropriate. We already have the vendor. You've approved the contract with the vendor that does our digital land record storage. It's Avenue. And they have this new system. It's being used already in Rhode Island, I believe, and a few other parts of Massachusetts, maybe it's Massachusetts. Ms. Stone's looking into this and plans on getting some pricing together and presenting it to the council for consideration review.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Councilmember Bauer.
Just a quick thank you to the selectmen, to our town attorney, as well as to our town clerk for taking such quick action on that, and for a very detailed answer, and also good news attached to that answer is always welcome as well. So thank you all so much for doing that. I will get back to the constituent that reached out to me to inform them. Also, on a completely non-related note, I meant to do this during public participation, but I'll do it now. Think Pink wanted to formally invite all of the council members, selectmen, town officials, town attorney, to the annual opening October 1st. Since it's a Sunday, they're actually doing it earlier, so it's going to be starting at 12 to 3 on the town green. So Think Pink wanted to extend that formal invitation to council.
All right, that's all we have for action items tonight. I'm going to pass unfinished business until after new business this evening. New business item A, I move that town council adopt the following donation, which was $1,500, a $5,000 donation from Friends of the Library to the Edith Wheeler Memorial Library.
Seconded
by Councilmember Mauer. Mr. First Selectman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As everyone is, I'm sure, aware, the Friends of the Library has been in existence for some time, supporting the Edith Wheeler Memorial Library as a fundraising arm for them, and providing a lot of value. This donation is for the Speakers Consortium fee for both fiscal years 24 and 25. And again, we thank them for helping raise funds for the library that we can put to good use for the community.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, passes 8-0. All right. So I move that the town council enter executive session, inviting the first selectman and town attorney to consider the purchase of real estate as open space, as well as discussing St. Jude Property and Community Center, specifically contract negotiations with the Diocese of Bridgeport. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jason Mauer. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, passes 8-0. It is 7:20.
Take care, Chris.
Thank you. And turn the sign. Thank you. For those of you participating remotely, with the exception of the 2 council members that are online, I will be placing you in a waiting room at this time. As soon as the council comes out of executive session, I will rejoin you to the meeting. So just give me one moment.